and scribes. If you are a scribe on this list and you have done work in this court, your name is called, please stand up. Media the Freedom Ada, Astrid of the Yellow Roses, Amway the Ivory, Honora the Spindle, Muriel, Garfield, Sospenbach, Adelia, Yehudah, Christophora, Lady Morgaine Blood, Gebhard, Eichbeach, Decimus, and myself. Thank you to all the scribes. It was amazing this whole thing. I know. That works. Okay, Your Excellency, would you like to say anything? You don't have to.
Let me say first that the only thing that exceeds the splendor of your Majesty's elevation today has been the warmth and hospitality of your populace. Thank you all very much. Some years ago, a young knight of my acquaintance had brought a young lady with him to an event. And it was about the time that inspirational equality was first being discussed in Antir. And this young lady and the young knight were watching the presentation of consorts in the crown tournament in Khagan. And this young lady watched and saw that all of the couples being presented were of opposite genders. And she asked Sir Ewan if it was all right if a man fought for a man or a lady fought for a lady. And Sir Ewan said, well, no, that's not the way we do it. That's not the way they did it in Western Europe during the Middle Ages. That's not the way our Arthurian fantasy of Camelot was built. That's just not how things happen. Now, this young lady did not have access to the scholarship that we have access to that disproves those common beliefs. All she could say was, I thought you told me that this was the Middle Ages as it should have been. And today, it is. And on behalf of all of us who have served monarchs, who have watched monarchs, who have been inspired and strengthened and helped by monarchs, thank you both for being the first to sit as kings.
Beat that.
I detest following this man. I truly do. Your Majesties, your Graces, your Excellencies, and good members of the court. One word that we have heard frequently through the entire history of the SCA, but especially over the past few years, has been inspiration. And we have seen many examples of inspiration, each and every one of us. Today I have seen much inspiration. I have been inspired by the hospitality of Northshield. I have been inspired by seeing things at court that I have never seen before. And of course, I was inspired by their Majesties Northshield, who have taught me a very important lesson today. Dignity.
Yehudah, Khagan, Hrodir, Beck, as representatives of the Crown of the Outlands, we wish to pass along to you words of prosperous and peaceful reign. As Baronesses of Khagan, who last year were presented with the Hearthstead Award from Tom and Sigrid, we tell you that your people have returned our hospitality 1,000-fold. As individuals who have come to the society to seek community and safety. We thank you for this. Thank you very much.
Your Majesty, populace of Northshield, we have had a spectacular time. Every person in this hall who's walked by, my lady and I, have asked if we've needed anything. Thank you so very much for your hospitality. Your Majesties are an inspiration to us all. We had a blast. Thank you so very much.
I don't think that I have smiled as much at an event as I have here. I'm going to be going back home to Onskiora tomorrow, very sore face.
This has been a fabulous day. I have known you two for years and years and years. And I am just delighted beyond words to see Mikey sitting on the thrones instead of standing behind them. And you're up front again. So this will be a fun winter. Please be merciful, Your Majesty.
Your Excellency.
Your Majesty, gathered populace, dear new friends and old friends. What a day, hey? I cannot tell you how truly thrilled I am that Northshield gets to lead the way on this historic day. I get to be part of it in the last part of my holding this seat. And I get to see that love is love is love. Period.
Your Majesties, thank you. And thank you to each one of the individuals from Western Northshield who has worked so hard to decorate this hall, to host these activities, to make a warm and welcoming environment for each one of us. Thank you.
Thank you to the College of Spice Bash there and the Shire of Down for this incredible day. It is becoming readily apparent to me over the last 6 months what a privilege it is to be able to see things from this perspective, and what a privilege it is to be part of history that is happening. Thank you all. Thank you.
I would guarantee I can maintain this level of the whole race.
I have been in the SCA for 20-odd years, and this has got to be one of the most magical events I have ever attended. Thank you, everybody who's here today. You rock.
A little over a year ago, I got a message from someone that said only appropriate couples may fight in our tournament. I said no, that's not how we do it anymore. So my brother and I went, we fought for each other in this tournament because he inspires me every day. Shh.
This person didn't find out until we were in finals against each other, and we were fighting for each other. This person was upset, but they have to get over it. Because there's no place for it in this society anymore. Anyone can inspire anyone. I'm inspired daily by these two. I was inspired by an entire kingdom today. Anyone can inspire anyone, and I hope that this is not the last time I see this. You ready?
Of course, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Northshield. Thank you. Oh, he'd be the best queen ever. Wow.
It's Thanks for making it possible.
There we go. Hey! 20 years ago in this season, I joined the SCA, and I found the greatest family I have ever known. It took me 3 years to realize it wasn't just a trick being pulled on me by popular kids. I was chubby, awkward, and I hit people with the sticks, and I thought it was great. I wore awful garb, and let's just say I was a jerk and a loudmouth and just awkward all the time. I've gotten over everything but the awkward. 10 years ago, I was going to Ignite, and I thought at that moment it was the proudest I ever could be. And then I got to fight for my brother. And then I got to win, and I got to help usher in this amazing age in the best kingdom in the known world. Didn't even blink an eye that a friend would fight for a friend, or that two people that loved each other were the same things. It's just normal here. But not always and everywhere else. But we will soon inspire the rest of the world with our friends and our family. And you all will make it better too. And we will not be the last upon the Northshield fulfilled. That I can promise in the world. And if it takes us moving to every kingdom in the known we will light those motherfuckers up. I'm going to stop right here. Thank you.
Entirely accustomed as I have become to public speaking. 29 years ago, I did the math, 29 years ago, I arrived in what in our society is known as the Dominion of Northshield, mundanely Ithaca, New York, for school. And one day, I am walking past this great big red brick castle we call Risley Hall, and there are people out on the lawn in armor beating on each other. And my first thought is, hey, do adults do this? I have never actually become a fighter, but I had always been fascinated. I always sat whenever I could. I went to their Sunday practices. I sat on the steps. I watched. I got to know the people. I occasionally went to their meetings, but I never quite joined in. I even went to Ethelbart Coronation tourney. It was my very first event. I was dragged there by my lovely lady. Who, when I got there, I said, so what should I do? And she said, well, you're loud. What's going on? They need field heralds. Why don't you go shout? Once you start down that dark path. But I still didn't really, I mean, I saw what people saw in it. I had a great day. But I still still didn't quite join. And then we moved all the way to Minneapolis. And I didn't know anyone, and I was very busy. And finally, like 2 years in, Margaret dragged me once again, more or less by the hair, to a Northshield meeting. And I met people. And as I had occasion to say to Brian earlier today, it is the people who kept me coming back. It is the people that I continue to serve in this society. It is the people I come to see and to speak to, and to laugh with, and occasionally to cry with, and very occasionally, especially now, to make cry. In a good way. It is the people that are the most important resource. It is the people of Northshield in particular that made me not hesitate for an instant when Hrodir said, "So when am I fighting for you?" And I looked up at him, as I said earlier, and said, "Are you serious? Because if you are, we will do this thing." Because I had no doubt that if he said he was going to fight for me, he would, eventually, if not right at first, win. He did. I never expected 29 years ago, when I saw those people beating on each other on that lawn in Ithaca, New York, to be standing here with this thing on my head in front of all of you in this role, under these circumstances, and make this bit of history come true. But now it is here, and I am immensely humbled, if you can believe that about me. Immensely humbled by the sheer amount of support that we have received from our people. It is good to be king. And it is good to be Northshield.